Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Drew back again with another video for all you soccer fans out there. And in this one, we're going to be talking about some big MLS transfers that happened this week. I'm so excited to talk about them. I'm so excited and kind of surprised to see these two players here signed within the MLS. And we'll get to them in a second. But first, I want to let you guys know real quick. If you guys love soccer and you want to see it get the growth and respect it deserves, and you want to be part of that change, then subscribe down below and be part of it. Okay, I'm really excited. Let's just go ahead and get to these transfers. The summer transfer window is still open for many clubs and leagues around the world. So obviously, your boys in MLS are going to go ahead and try to sign some big stars. And some big stars, or at least one major star and one major prospect, signed by LA Galaxy on a loan. That is Christian Pavon from Boca Juniors in Argentina. The 23-year-old striker / winger is being loaned from Boca Juniors, which is one of the biggest teams in Argentina. He has been dubbed, I'm not going to say the new Lionel Messi, because I feel like people or players who were dubbed that kind of seem to fizzle out, and we'll get to that in a second. But Christian Pavon seems to be a really good prospect, shows a lot of potential for Argentina. He did play in the 2018 World Cup. He did miss out on the recent Copa America, but that's whatever. The 2018 World Cup, I think he played pretty decent. Obviously, Argentina had a terrible World Cup, but I thought every time he was on the pitch, I think he was a pretty decent player, along with obviously King Messi there. But like I said, he's one of the biggest prospects right now in Argentina, so I'm actually surprised and shocked that he actually was able to be loaned here to LA Galaxy, who was in need of more firepower up front to help Zlatan. You know, I think Christian Pavon is a really skillful player, great technically, great ability on the ball. Like I said, LA Galaxy needs more firepower up front to help Zlatan, and they're going to get that with Christian Pavon. I definitely am confident that he will be able to provide more firepower, more quality crosses, more quality passes into dangerous attacking areas, and I know Zlatan will go ahead and take advantage of those chances easily. Pavon has been playing with Boca Juniors since 2014. He's had one loan spell back in 2014, and like I said, this is actually another loan spell to LA Galaxy. But LA Galaxy does have an option to go ahead and buy Pavon in 2020 at the end of the season, but that's going to depend all on if they can free up another DP spot, which is a designated player spot in their ranks. You know, contract negotiations right now with Zlatan and even Roman Alessandrini are still up in the air. But I can't see Zlatan not signing a contract renewal if he wants to go ahead and play another season. But as for Alessandrini, I really don't see him re-signing, at least in my opinion. You LA Galaxy fans might think differently, but I'm sure you Galaxy fans would more like to have Pavon rather than Alessandrini. You know, Pavon is only 23 years old. He has scored 21 goals this season. 21 goals in 80 appearances in total. Not this season. That would be absolutely insane. But he is going to bring along lots of international seniority. He's going to bring a lot of quality experience. I could really see him tearing it up here in MLS. I'm so excited to see that. Let's move on to the next signing I'm ready to talk about. The next and final transfer I want to talk about in this video is from Montreal Impact. They have signed Bojan Krčić from Stoke City on a free transfer. You know, Stoke City didn't renew Bojan's contract this season, so he was actually a free agent, and he came to Montreal for absolutely free, and I think that is a huge freaking bargain for Montreal Impact. You know, and by the way, I called this signing a couple videos ago, which I will link down below in the description box. I didn't call him signing for Montreal Impact, but I did call and name him as one of the players I think should come or could come to MLS. So definitely check out the video. There's lots of players out there who I think could still make a really good impression and have a good career here in MLS. Once dubbed the new Lionel Messi, Bojan came through La Masia, which is also the Barcelona Academy. He played most of his youth career, of course, with Barcelona, really making big impacts for Barcelona B, scoring lots of goals there, and then moving on and being promoted to the senior team of Barcelona, where he scored 26 goals in 104 appearances. He was there from 2007 all the way to 2011 when he was sold to Roma and then loaned to Milan, then came back to Barcelona, then went on loan to Ajax, and finally went and signed permanently with Stoke City in the Premier League. Bojan really had a huge future in sight and a big potential to fulfill, and he really never fulfilled that potential and never really had that huge career that many thought he would. His career after Barcelona seemed to just go downhill compared to the career many thought he was going to have. Playing with Barcelona and Roma, Milan, Stoke City, and a bunch of other teams I've mentioned, Bojan has been around and has played in some of the biggest leagues in the world with and against the biggest teams in the world. For Montreal Impact, he's going to bring lots of experience to this team and hopefully be able to have a Giovinco or a Pozuelo effect where he can reignite some confidence and play better here in MLS. Montreal Impact is currently 6th in the East, and I think this transfer is really going to help them push and fight to stay in that playoff spot, especially if it means keeping Toronto FC at bay outside the playoff spot. That would make Montreal fans even happier. But I think they had a really good bargain right here with Bojan. He could play as a striker or even as a winger, but I think mostly recently in his career he has been playing as a number 10 right behind a striker. So I can totally see him doing that or playing that position for Montreal Impact the rest of the season and hopefully during the playoffs as well. He's still pretty young too. He's not in his 30s, which is great. He's only 28 years old. I could see him, if he has a really good experience here in MLS with Montreal, I could see him staying here for maybe 4 or 5 years and really have a good impact within those 4 or 5 years with MLS and especially with Montreal Impact. So I am really excited to see Bojan Krkic. He was one of my favorite young players when I was a couple years younger. I'm a little too old now. But a couple years ago when I was a huge Barcelona fan, he really was a player that I was always watching, always wanted to see more of, but he never really seemed to break into that first team regularly. But that's it for today, guys. I want to know your thoughts on both of these transfers, and let me know your thoughts on some other transfers I may have missed or not talked about in this video that you think should be talked about as a big transfer going on within MLS. Like I said, I'm really excited to see both of these players play in MLS. So excited. They're going to bring lots of quality, lots of experience, lots of goals, hopefully, for MLS. So let me know your thoughts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking it with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.